Alana. Hello. In today's video, your British family are going to be reacting to 9 things Americans do that Brits don't.
Have you got any ideas what there might be?
I was thinking saying grace before a meal, or pledge allegiance to the flag.
Oh, that's a good one.
You got any ideas? Yeah. Oh, got any ideas? She's thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know there's lots of differences between what we do over here in the United Kingdom and what you do over there in the United States of America, but I'm not sure what some of the differences might be that come up on this.
I'm just thinking before things like baseball games, they do the national anthem. And I know if it's an international game, we will do the national anthem, but not really
local.
Yeah.
And I suppose just the general, which I was going to say, like the how you doing thing that we learnt from things like Walter's World, where people will say how you doing and they don't really
bit more friendly.
Yeah, but round where we live, we're quite a friendly bunch, and we all say hi to each other, even people we don't know. So I'm not sure if that's going to be a difference.
Yeah, it's true. Geographically, when you go into like city centres, they're a bit more sort of
rude.
If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because we post every Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Right, let's get on with the video.
Hello, I'm Laurence and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to the things we do as people. It turns out that there are just things that people in one country do that the people in the other country do not do, and today we're going to take a look at 9 things that Americans do that Brits don't. And take that title with a grain of salt, okay? It's very much a generalisation. Of course, many of the things on this list probably are practised by some people, some pedants over in Britain. I said pedants, not peasants. But for the most part, on the whole, generally speaking, how many other ways can you say that? Americans do these things more than Brits. Now, if I'd have done this list maybe 12 years ago before I moved to the United States, there are some things I would have included that have since caught on in Britain. So, you know, baby showering or queuing up for the Black Friday sale. Or getting a coffee to go. So since there's more of a level playing field in regard to those things, I'm just going to leave them off the list. And given that we're all presently trapped in our bunkers, even the ones that did make it onto the list probably shouldn't temporarily, including this.
Smile at strangers, yes.
So that's one of the things I was kind of getting at. We do smile and say hello, morning, afternoon.
Yeah, again, it's geographical.
But I would agree, I'm going to say I would agree. I think the Americans do it more than the Brits.
Yeah, a lot more warm. Well, every time I've gone out there, people are so polite and nice and smiley. And, you know, we kind of mirror people. So when someone smiles at you, you kind of automatically smile back. Yeah, it's wonderful. Love it.
Smiling at strangers, which I suppose is what I'm doing to you right now, so I'm a hypocrite in a way. And you know what, I think when I first encountered this is when you're walking along, say, a footpath, or you're in a parkway, and someone you've never met, maybe they've got a dog, they just look at you and smile. It sounds creepy when I put it like that, and at first it was. I thought I was going to get mugged, right? British people value their personal space, right? Don't enter that zone. And so whenever that happened, it was a little off-putting, but I got used to it when I realised that Americans are just really friendly, and this is a good thing, right? And so I not only came to embrace this, but I started doing it myself, and, you know, people got a bit creeped out by the British teeth. I can't help that. It's just something I'm born with, and so you're going to have to accept it from now on. I must say that during this sort of weird situation we find ourselves in, if anybody smiled at me while I was going out to take the trash out, I'd run for the hills. We don't have hills in Chicago, so I'd be lost.
Running.
Hello. Hello there.
I guess that's just saying hello to strangers.
Hello, no conversation. It's just hello, and then you walk on. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
I think.
Similarly, which is a word I had to say about 10 times before I got right, Americans might greet you not only with a smile, but by saying, how are you? Or what's up? And these don't mean, you know, are you okay? Or anything like that. It just means hello, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's, in a way, it's sort of similar to how we Brits say, all right.
All right, yeah.
And we're not asking if you're okay. We're simply saying hello. So in many ways, there are similarities between the two. I don't really know why that is. Are we just trying to soften and euphemize the word hello in the same way that we would with death or going to the toilet? It's really odd when you think about it, but we both do it. Should I start my videos with, all right, I'm Laurence, and no, I won't do that. What I will do is go on to our next entry.
Yay.
Yeah, fly the flag, yes.
We forgot this in one of our previous videos, and we kind of kicked ourselves because we're like, yes, the Americans fly the flag.
A lot, yeah.
And the British don't.
Yeah, although we've got the Jubilee coming up, so
Yeah.
there are quite a few British flags, which is, it's nice to see. It's nice to see. I think it's, yeah.
We'll try and get some photos of some of the flags for the Jubilee celebrations.
Absolutely.
Yes, flags. I did talk about this in a video just recently that, American families and houses and things like that are very prone to having the flag flying outside. And I found that it really doesn't matter which party you vote for or anything like that. People will still fly the flags regardless of that, particularly on July the 4th. But you will see it at all times of year on numerous houses. And that's not to say that we don't fly the flag in Britain, but we usually reserve that for very special occasions like football matches, which are very special occasions these days. There's just sort of, maybe there's more pride in the flag here, or it symbolises so much more, and therefore it gets used. And when I say it symbolises so much more, I mean, it really does. You've got the 50 stars representing each of the 50 states, and then you've got the 13 stripes.
That's 50 states, not 52.
No, exactly. 50, 50.
Representing each of the original 13 colonies. And so it's symbolic in many ways, and it's part of the lexicon even. You've got words like Old Glory, Stars and Stripes and things like that. And so it's a very pervasive part of American culture.
Yeah, the date format, that always gets me.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. We do date, month, year. And in America they do month, date, year.
But I also think when we're talking, I would say 1st of May, and Americans say May 1st.
Yeah.
Would that be correct?
Yeah, should have thought of that one, really.
Ah, yes, date formats. Again, I've spoken about this before on the channel, but it's very much worthy of inclusion because when I first moved to the United States, it was very hard for me to get out of my head the British way of writing the date, which is to put the day first, the month second, and then the year. So it's sort of in order of unit, right? The
Uncle
smallest
Laurence.
entity, the day, the second smallest, and then the third smallest, the year. Or is it to the largest? It's so hard to word that correctly without confusing yourself. I'm not a mathematician, and that was evident in my early days of trying to get my head around the American date format. It's not hard. I mean, you obviously just switch the day and the month around, but it's that thing you've known all your life. You're having to unlearn what you'd already learned. And eventually, working in an office every day for 5 years, the American way of doing things really did sort of cement itself in my head, and I came good on that front. And I think now if I were to move back to Britain, it'd be the other problem, and I'd have.
So when the dates are down or written out, if it's anything that's any days up till the 12th, I do get confused because obviously it can go either way, can't it? It could be the 1st of January.
I see what you mean, yeah.
Or the 9th of January. But is that the 9th of January or is that the 1st of September? Very confusing for me.
I have a hard time adapting. And if I tell everybody that, my birthday is 11/18/1981, they'll think I invented 6 more months and, will kick me out of the country again for forgery. That's not what that means. Falsehoods, just general falsehoods. Oh, and while I'm on the subject of birthdays, that brings me on to our next entry.
Tailgate.
Tailgate party kind of thing,
Yeah.
is it?
Now over here, tailgate means, isn't it, someone's right up behind you?
Yeah.
If you're driving, someone's right up your...
You're tailgating them.
Yeah, you're tailgating them. Tailgate is, like a party. They do them at the like sports events, I think.
Yeah. Can you remember we were watching that episode before of Somebody Feed Phil, and he went around to there was a shack or whatever you call them, what's the word?
Like a kiosk.
Yeah, like a kiosk shack, and then everyone was getting their food, and then they had these little tailgate parties, and they eat them at the back of the trucks.
Oh, nice.
But let's find out if that is what
yeah.
it means.
Tailgating was such an alien concept to me when I first moved to America, and in many ways it still is, and that's mainly because I don't own a truck or go to sports events, because that's what happens. When I talk about tailgating, I'm not just talking about, when you drive too closely behind another car. I'm talking about that kind of thing that Americans do at sports events outside of sports stadiums or anywhere else where they can park it, and they just casually light a barbecue and drink beer. And I mean, they look fun. It's just I've never been invited to one, so pity me, come on, feel sorry for me. It's never happened. The best you're going to get outside of sports stadiums in Britain is people selling pirated DVDs. I've just realised, actually, those pirate DVD sellers, they're probably struggling right now because A, there's a pandemic on, and B, no one uses DVDs anymore.
Yeah.
Actually, I suppose nobody is doing our next entry, including me, so I'm going to leave this to Laurence from Christmas to explain.
Refill drink.
Ah, okay.
Drink refill. Yeah, I mean, they do occasionally do it over here, don't they?
Yeah, it is. But then I suppose, like Laurence said, some of the things are coming over more and more to the UK from the US, like when he mentioned baby showers and things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Anybody that's followed my channel now for a while will know that I have feelings on free refills. In fact, I did an entire video about it. And while they are all the rage here, and of course you'll find them in most fast food outlets and other places, there is one clarification I have to make here. You will find free refills as an option in places like Subway in the United Kingdom. So in some capacity, America has exported it, but it is by no means as universal in the United Kingdom as it is in the United States. And as I've said before, I think the temptation of knowing that I could get a free cup of pop on top of the one that I've already had is what made me give up pop in the first place. So I do have that to thank America for. Of course, if you are American and you have the willpower to stay away from the free refills, more power to you.
Iced water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Free refills or not, Americans do like their water to be very cold, and I'm not talking about their bath water. Can you imagine having an ice bath? Do they? That is weird. But they put lots of ice in their water occasionally, and you'll find this happening in restaurants, but people will do it in the comfort of their own homes too. And this was somewhat of an alien concept to me before I moved to the US. I think maybe it's because we live in a mildish climate in Britain. We don't feel the need to do that. And the water in Britain tends to come out of the tap quite cold anyway, so that usually suffices. But actually, I have come to appreciate this one because during the summertime in Chicago, or previously where I lived in Indiana, it gets very, very hot. Sometimes it can get over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And if you go out for a run in that weather, and that's not me, I don't run. But if you do, you're going to perspire like crazy, right? So not only do you need just water in general, it is nice to have it with ice in it because it cools you down. Like it's ice cold, and you're catching your breath because it's going so dry from all the heat. They'll even buy bags of ice here in America. You can actually buy bags of ice from the store, and I still don't know why people do that. I know because you have ice trays and you put them in the freezer. Am I missing something?
So that you can have ice for a party.
Oh, right. Like a tailgating party, or just generally a party?
Any party.
Any party.
So were you going to say something on the ice then?
I was just going to say, we get ice bags.
We do get ice bags, and like they were just saying there, mainly for parties we get ice bags. But one thing that I did notice in a lot of the American style fridge freezers is the ice making machines.
Yeah, they're ace, aren't they? You just put your glass in and push, and the ice. You can choose what kind of ice you want as well.
Crushed cubes, yeah. I do like ice in my drinks, but I don't like it where there's too much ice. So I think that's probably when you talk about the ice water, I think there's going to be too much ice for me.
Yeah.
In the summer.
Or winter.
Who has ice in the winter?
Ew.
I mean, in their drink.
Floridians?
That's true. Is it even winter in Florida, though, when it's winter here?
Yes, but no.
Not the same.
Public pajamas? Public pajamas?
I'm just going to wear
You don't walk around in your pajamas, really?
No, well, here, no, but there have been some
There are people over here that might...
reports, I'd say, like newspaper reports and stuff, or you do see them sometimes in like the supermarket, people wearing their pajamas and slippers, and you think, why?
It's a bit lazy, isn't it?
Yeah, because
Just put some jeans on
I
and a
think there was
t-shirt
a
or something.
school that said parents stop picking or dropping your children off in your pajamas.
Yeah. No. Get changed.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, go to our merch shop and check out our Mr. H and Friends and Mr. H and Family merch.
So you could wear that out rather than your pajamas.
Yeah. Right. Or maybe we could do a line of pajamas.
This one seemed really strange for the first few months of living in America. People going out to the store in their pajamas and sweatpants and things like that. It's as if they don't care about what they look like while, traversing Walmart, which I can understand. It's not really something you'd find back in Britain. I'm not saying we dress our Sunday best to go shopping, but we at least make an effort, put on jeans and a t-shirt, You will see people going out in their gym jams, their jammies, PJs, right? And
wow, I didn't know that.
I'm not exempt from that, especially right now. I mean, I don't care what I want people to avoid me, so of course I go out in my pajamas or anything. I went out in this the other day. These aren't my pajamas. That's just me looking like a Sith Lord, a dime store Sith Lord, but nonetheless a Sith Lord. And I suppose in many ways it speaks to that American tendency toward comfort. But this is not just a pandemic era thing. I mean, people have been doing this for centuries, probably.
Pajamas?
Yeah.
I feel like that started in the 90s.
So there weren't people going in the 19th century going out with their sort of sleeping cap on and things like that to their local blacksmiths or whatever.
Now, I'm not sure if this one would make the list or if this is a stereotype, but
Ooh, sounds controversial.
it could be, and apologies if it is, but socks with sandals.
Oh.
Or socks with sliders or flip-flop. Well, not flip-flops because they tend to have the bit between your toe, but
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people wearing socks and sandals, and that's something we don't do.
No, we don't. It's you'd get a lot of Mickey taking if
And-
you were to wear like white socks with sandals.
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, that's
It doesn't matter if they're like black socks. You still...
yeah. It's just sort of an unwritten rule over here.
Yeah.
I don't know where it came from, but it's just like you don't wear socks with.
It's probably because you wear socks because your feet are so cold because it's always cold. And then when the summer comes, everyone gets really excited and wears like the tiniest shorts and tops and stuff like that and
Yeah.
flip-flops. So to wear the two together would be like, why?
I guess maybe a bit of a contradiction because it's warm. You want the air to get to your feet, but if you're putting
I
socks
don't
on-
know.
I mean, it might be comfortable, but yeah, over here you would get ridiculed, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Get ridiculed.
So are there any other things like this that you've recognised that we do over here in
Yeah.
the UK that you don't do in America or vice versa? Let us know in the comments down below.
Absolutely. And if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to drop a like. And again, if you haven't, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that notification bell. You'll be notified every time we upload a video on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And if you're lucky, we might give you a bonus video every now and then.
And all that leaves us to say,
Is take care,
God bless.
and we'll see y'all in the next video.